And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. And the Buck and I are with y'all for the next 2 hours. On today's show, more bold predictions for the Texas Longhorns in 2026. Are we buying or are we selling Steve Sarkisian's squad in year 6? Talk a little golf. The British Open gets going tomorrow. Can Scotty Scheffler bounce back after missing the cut? And can he repeat as a champion overseas? We will preview that. We've got some NFL conversation to dive into. A new ranking of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL from coaches and executives. We'll get to that list. And we got to talk about this diarrhea parasite that is taking over our country by storm. The details are not good. So plenty of sports, plenty of fun over the next couple of hours. Of course, it is Wednesday, so our Longhorns insider Chip Brown will join us as well. But we appreciate y'all spending some of your hump day with us. How are you today, my man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone because there ain't no sunshine out here today.
Oof.
Wow. What a miserable, wet, damp, rainy, and for the hill country, very rainy Wednesday it is. And last night, too, for the hill country. It's the rain that we can use, but the rain that I don't want right now. And it is it's going to be that way for the next 24 to 48 hours. So, folks, turn around, don't drown, especially in the hill country area. I mean, we got some roads that are closed already around here, but it just was raining here for about 5 minutes, and it came down hard, and then it stopped. It's going to be like that off and on, but you're not going to see the sun. Here comes the sun. Sorry about that, Harry Kane, but that ain't happening.
Yeah, here comes the sun. Well, you're quoting Bill Withers and you're quoting the Beatles to get things going on a Wednesday. And yeah, be safe out there. I did see yesterday that the governor declared disaster in 59 Texas counties. So all sorts of crazy weather going on all around Central Texas and parts of West Texas too, and really all over the state. So yeah,
we had all that. The problems that we had last year up in Kerrville, there's a possibility of that happening. In that area again. So please, up in that area, please be careful.
And tornado warnings and watches as well. So be safe, be smart out there. And I hope everybody is doing all right.
Yeah, you don't have to get anywhere. It doesn't rain on Tuesdays because golf day is Tuesday. Of course, it didn't rain. I was panicked. I'm wearing long pants thinking it's in the 80s. The humidity yesterday was so brutal. Just not a drop of rain, though. Just get out there and play. But man, that humidity. Played at the Westlake Country Club.
Nice. Whoa. Highfalutin today.
The old stopping grounds there.
Yeah. That's where I used to go hit balls.
Hit balls on the 18th green.
Putting on the 18th green, thinking that was the chipping and putting practice area. Instead, I've got guys yelling at me from the 18th tee box. Hey, move! Get out!
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's I've had some low moments on the golf course. Usually it's with my play, not where I play, but that one was painful, and it still hurts all these years later.
Yeah, that was painful for me because I didn't get over the water again.
Oh, boy.
I hit 2 balls into the water there.
Come on, Tin Cup, figure it out.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that was just brutal. What a brutal round of golf that was for me yesterday. I'm doing all these goofy squats and 250 squats, during the weekday, and now I got to tone that down because it's too many. Thank God for our early bird CBD because I did a lot of walking yesterday, trudging around, the thickness off the green, off the fairway. The rough was rough on me. I mean, it was snap hook, balls back into the rough. It was not a fun day. I was lousy. I was a lousy golfer yesterday. So, but that's right. You know what? I got a chance to play golf.
I was going to say, a bad day on the course is better than a good day somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I love being outdoors, and got a chance to get some exercise and be out there, but it was still crappy. And that was when I first heard it was going to be 80 degrees. Like I said, I can wear some long pants out there. Oh my God, I got out there and talking about Gold Bond powder. I had that little red spot down by my plumber's crack.
All right. Too many
Right.
details here. We don't
Just
need this.
awful, awful, awful. Good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you. It doesn't matter, rain, shine, sleet, snow, you are there for us. We do appreciate you being there for us. And to you and your families, please be safe out there.
Yes, indeed. Well, we opened up yesterday's program talking about some bold predictions for the 2026 Texas Longhorns that I found online. And we played a little game of buy or sell.
Oh, yeah.
We got through 3 or 4 of them yesterday. I've got 3 or 4 more
Awesome.
today that I want to get to. If you missed the ones that we talked about on Tuesday's show, definitely check out the podcast wherever you find your podcasts. But a few more of these bold predictions for Texas. And again, buy or sell for the Longhorns in 2026. We'll start with this one, Buck. Buy or sell, Texas sweeps its 3 rivals for the 3rd year in a row. So since joining the SEC, Texas is 2-0 against Oklahoma. Texas is 2-0 against Texas A&M. Texas is 2-0 against Arkansas. Obviously, they'll play all 3 of those teams again this year. The Arkansas game is at home. The A&M game is in College Station. We know where the OU game is every single year. So buy or sell, for the 3rd straight season, Texas wins all 3 of those rivalry games.
I'm buying.
No hesitation.
No, none. The two are automatic. Arkansas, who knows what could happen? They're lousy, but who knows? It's that those other 2 are simple. Those are simple wins.
The other 2 are simple. Arkansas is the worst team in the SEC. That's the simple one.
Simple wins. A&M, OU, don't worry about it. No problem. Just go up there and go to those places and have a good time. Go up Dallas, have a good time. Go to College Station. I don't know if you're going to have a good time, but at least you can go there for the 100,000 that'll be there and disappointed and watch them kiss each other.
Yeah, they do a lot of kissing in College Station, don't they?
Well, they don't do any kissing at OU because they don't score any touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true. Over 1,000 days since Oklahoma has scored a touchdown against Texas. And I remember,
kissing don't score.
2 years ago when Texas played the Aggies at Kyle Field, the Aggies only scored 1 touchdown, and it was a pick 6. So They only got to kiss 1 time. I think they still do that for defensive scores, but the Texas defense pitched a shutout in that game, and the Aggies only, forget touchdowns, they only scored 1 time in that game. So I don't want a lot of kissing on Black Friday there.
No, I feel pretty confident about this. I'm definitely buying this threesome again.
Well, it's a weird threesome right there if you get one person from all 3 of those schools.
Oh, how disgusting would that be?
How many teeth combined do we have there?
Oh, my goodness.
And at least 2 of them are related, right?
Yes.
That's gross. So, man, Arkansas is an easy win. I mean, it better be an easy win. It's in a weird spot in the month of November. Texas plays 4 games in November. 3 of them are on the road. The Arkansas game's the only game at DKR TMS. But that's
right. That game is at home. There is no problem with that one. Forget it. That's not on the road. That's here. That's easy.
Look, it's a trap game spot to where it's in between the trip to Death Valley and the trip to College Station. So obviously you got a huge game the week before on the road and a huge game the week after on the road. But I don't think Arkansas is good enough to turn that into an upset. So
I agree. Now, are they finally looking for a new quarterback now after the long-legged kid is gone?
Yeah, Talon Green.
He's now, I'm not going to say graduated, but you got to get out of here. He's gone, right?
Yeah, they've got KJ Jackson, who played some in the game in Austin last year. He's a decent dual threat quarterback, but it's an Arkansas team that went 2-10 last year, 0-8 in SEC play. They've got a new head coach with Ryan Silverfield coming in from Memphis. I mean, I got the Phil Steele open. He has the Hogs finishing last. I think when we get to Media Days next week, Arkansas is going to be picked to finish last in the league. So if that game was in Fayetteville, you don't want to lose it. You can't lose the worst team in the conference on your home. So that's the one I'm most confident about. I think Oklahoma is the one that worries me the most of the 3.
Yeah, you're horrified of their coach.
I'm not horrified of their coach. I think they're the best of those three teams. I think that's the reason why. And I know Texas has owned them in 3 of the last 4 years. And the last 2, again, we gave the touchdown stat. I mean, these have been incredibly one-sided. And look, I think Texas is going to be favored. We'll know more about these teams by the time we get to October 10th.
Yep.
But I just think Oklahoma's the best of those 3 teams. So that's the one that worries me the most. Even though the Aggie game's on the road, I always feel confident when the Longhorns get together with the Aggies. But that's the one that gives me a little bit of hesitation. I'm going to buy it as well. But I'm not as confident as you are that the OU and A&M games are going to be easy W's.
Yeah, I just, because of the way I feel about John Mateer and their run game, I just don't think they can score enough points. Even with Texas having some newness on defense, I just don't think I don't see enough of them being able to hand the ball off, to pound it, pound and ground and pound, whatever, enough to keep any kind of ball control. And if their quarterback is running around with the ball, which he likes to do a lot, he's liable to get hurt. Probably get hurt in that game. There's some extra hitting going on in that game, and that guy tends to take off and go, and he wants to be the big guy. Remember, he doesn't like to slide. He likes to pretend he's an athlete, and he may hurt his thumb again. You better watch out for his thumb.
Well, he hurt his thumb before the Texas game last year. Remember, he came back, and Oklahoma fans were so confident that, oh, yeah, we got Mateer on the field, and we're going to win this game. You guys have already lost twice. This is going to be easy. And then, well, it turned into a Texas beatdown where the Sooners did not get into the end zone.
Yeah, I would say that kid he would have to be better than what we saw from him last year when he was allegedly healthy. But that all depends on what kind of help he gets from the run game. He got no help. He was the run game. He was their run game last year.
He was. No, it was similar to what Texas had, where it's like, how does a place like this get here? And, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, I just expect their offensive line to be better. Their O-line was really, really young a season ago. I think they started 3 freshmen for the majority of the season. And, I mean, it's like Texas. They always recruit well. They've got talented running backs. But the question is, can any of those dudes actually step up and be a 1,000-yard kind of guy, which is what you typically see in Norman. So, yeah, no, I just, again, I think Oklahoma's really, really good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they go 0-12 this year. Well, they do play A&M, so maybe I hope they go 1-11. I'm not sure who I want to win that game. But, yeah, that one worries me. So let me ask you this, I guess. Like, are you more worried about Oklahoma, or are you more worried about the A&M game on Black Friday?
I worry more about A&M.
Okay. Wise, you think Marcel Reed's better than Intercept here? You think the Aggies are better? What's the reasoning?
I mean, how inconsistent. I mean, they always have some running backs, but by the time they get, the Texas game gets going on, the last game of the year, their 3-star running backs are hurt. They always have a running back at A&M. They're the one school lately that's had a whole classroom filled with running backs, but during the course of the year, they lose 3,
Yeah.
Something happens where 3 guys are gone. I'm like, what about that great running back at Texas A&M? Well, he got hurt in game 3. Well, what about the backup who could have gone anywhere? Well, he's hurt too. They get 3 guys hurt, BK, but, they've been, the one year they got them all hurt before the season started. Last year they got them all hurt during the season pretty early. So at the end they had nobody. But I worry that if they stay healthy with running backs, the quarterback's a runner. I don't expect him to do anything flashy. Will they have enough receivers? I mean, they lose a guy who's just a great receiver. They got one coming back. They lose a great one. How good are they at that position? They always find some tight end, some dude from Czechoslovakia or something with a Czech name, 6'9" tight end comes out of nowhere and plays. So who knows about that part? It's just the run game with them also. Will they be banged up? Like you said, their offensive line they were supposed to be really, really good last year, but it really truly wasn't so much of them as it was for the guys getting hurt.
Yeah, I thought a lot to unpack there. First of all, shout out to Czechoslovakia getting a mention there. Was not expecting that on a Wednesday or really any day. They lose Casey Concepcion, their number 1 receiver. Who you're talking about. Awesome. You were a huge fan of him, one of the best punt returners in the country as well. So it's a big loss in 2 phases of the game for A&M. But Mario Craver's back. He's explosive. He's dynamic.
Yes,
they got Isaiah Horton transferring in from Alabama. I think he had 6 touchdowns for the Crimson Tide a year ago. He's a stud. Ashton Bethel-Roman, a really talented wide receiver as well. So, look, they're good. And Reuben Owens, who I think he committed to Texas at one point. He's bounced around in college, but a former 5-star recruit in high school. He's back at running back. They've got Marcel Reed going into his 3rd year as a starter. So on paper, they've got a lot of talented pieces on offense. I mean, hell, they were 11-0 to start last season before they came to Austin, and Texas blew up their season per usual. My biggest question, I think I have a couple of questions for A&M. Number one, you talked about the offensive line. That was the strength of their team. They lose 4 starters from that group.
Yes.
And they also are replacing both coordinators. Now, Mike Elko is kind of the de facto defensive coordinator for the Aggies, so he's still there. But they do have a new DC. And more importantly, they lose Colin Klein, who was their offensive coordinator. He's now the head coach at Kansas State, his alma mater. Their new OC was on staff last year. He was their wide receivers coach, but like a big step up, first time calling plays. So it's not only some personnel turnover, but it's some coaching turnover too. And A&M's got a tougher schedule, so I don't expect them to be.
Their quarterback has to be really, really good this year. He cannot be inconsistent the way he is in big games, because it looks like you said, their schedule's a little lighter than last year, BK. So those games, he can't afford to
opposite.
lose.
Their schedule's tougher.
Okay, well then for him, almost just about every game sounds like it's going to be a big game for them. So he's got to be much better, much sooner.
Yeah. Well, the problem with Marcel Reed, like, he was great for most of the year. He fell off at the end.
Oh, yeah, when the real big game, when it really mattered.
Right, like the Texas game and then their playoff game against Miami, those were his 2 worst games by far, and he looked like the moment was too big for him. But, A&M, I will say this about their schedule. Last year they went on the road to South Bend and beat a very good Notre Dame team. And Marcel Reed was great. That was a shootout. And give the Aggies credit. That was an impressive win for them. So he was great early in the year. It was just, again, the biggest games when the pressure was the highest. That's when he kind of fell apart. We'll see if he can respond a little bit better this time around.
Well, like I said, if he's got another year anyway, they'll be clamoring for that dude's head here. If they got some of those big games, as you say, some of those losses come up early, they'll be unsure of him, and it'll all start to fall apart. And who's the next great one that's coming there that doesn't end up being a great one?
It's usually how it goes in College Station.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
he'll be playing. He'll have one more year under his belt, but he'll be trying to get the hell out of there and go play for somebody else. In his 6th or 7th or 8th year, or whatever it will be, but they'll be begging for him to get out of there, and they'll say that, well, we got the next best thing coming up right now. He's ready to go.
All right. So the Aggies are going to kick Marcel Reed to the curb.
Well, I don't think he'll be good enough.
All right. Interesting. But you're worried more about that game than you are the Oklahoma game. Okay.
I don't ever worry about Oklahoma. They're awful.
All right. That's crazy to me, but
they're awful. The quarterback's awful. They got no running back. It's been a while since they had a couple of receivers there. They struggle. I say running back. I should be talking about their wide receiver group, BK. They've struggled over the last 2 years, have they not, at that position too?
They've got Isaiah Satania, who's very good. He had nearly 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he had a nice year last year, yeah.
Remember who they got from Texas? Judas Livingston.
Yeah, okay. Well, if that's going to be what holds Texas back, then they got a lot more to worry about than just OU.
Parker Deadston, whatever you want to call him.
He's just dead to you, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. You can't do that. You could transfer away from Texas, and I'll still kind of root for you and hope you do well. But you can't go there.
No.
Like, come on, man. He's dead to me.
Yeah, he's going to be the security blanket for the guy who can't throw it any more than about 17 yards down the field. So
yeah, that's well, good luck. Good luck to him. It's weird to go from or want to go from the winning side of that rivalry to the losing side of that rivalry. Usually it's the other way around, but
Had to be other places that wanted him to play for him.
yeah, there were. And I think Oklahoma probably offered the most money, and Livingston growing up in Texas, like he wants to
Yeah,
play
they want to
close
leave
to
the
home.
state. Yeah, I see.
I think so. I don't know. Bad luck to him. No good luck
Yeah, I mean,
here.
he did. I mean, well, I don't think anybody was jumping up and down to keep him.
No, I feel like if Texas offered as much money as Oklahoma did, he would still be in Austin. But
Sure.
the Longhorns didn't feel like he was worth it, and they clearly prioritized some other wide receivers, namely Cam Coleman, in the transfer portal. And I think all of us would take Cam Coleman over Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Like other villains. Benedict. We should call him Benedict Livingston, whatever he is.
You
Right now.
you are down on him. That poor kid.
You got to be. That's my job, I think. All right, so we'll take your thoughts. We'll get back into some more bold predictions. We'll do that in a moment. Buy or sell for Texas football here in the 2026 season. But before we get to a few more of these and talk a little bit more Longhorn football, how about our first round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, if you've got pain and you've got pain in the ankles, your shoulders, your back, and you're thinking of surgery, contact our friends at Texas Orthopedics. They offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adults. Rehab work, they got that done right there at Texas Orthopedics. Spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement. Their doctors are dedicated orthopedic surgeons. Their goal is to get you right back in good health and the great quality of life that you want and you deserve. Folks, Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in the state in Central Texas. For more information, please go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. Love Texas Orthopedics. Also love AV Consultations. We continue our countdown to Texas football now, just 52 days away from kickoff. That means you've got 52 days to make sure that your home TV setup is ready to roll for the college football season. Stop spending all of your time and your money driving around to sports bars, to friends' places, to your in-laws' place every weekend. Don't let them have a better TV setup than you. You've got to have the TV setup. You want your home to be the place to be for friends, for family, for yourself all season long. It's so nice, Buck, and I know you can attest to this too. It's waking up on a Saturday and you just walk to your living room and you just sit on the couch for 10 hours. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to put on clothes. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on beer because you're out in public. You get to watch all the sports from the comfort of your own couch. That's the beauty of AV Consultations. They can upgrade your TV setup if you want the man cave like I have, or the woman cave. If you want the big screen like the Buck has, a home theater room, patio setups, whatever, TV, surround sound, anything to elevate your sports watching experience. Audio-visual Consultations can hook you up the way they've hooked up thousands of Central Texans since 1988. All you have to do is reach out to them, 512-255-8678. You can find out more online at avconsultations.com.
My good friends over at Relax the Back, they embrace a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle. My back couldn't be happier. Over 20 years with this Relax the Back chair. I love it, and you can too, folks. Don't wait till you have a bad back to find a chair that's going to suit your lumbar area, your shoulders, your neck, the whole works. Make sure that you feel comfortable when you're sitting around watching your AV consultation. As a matter of fact, they have unbelievable zero gravity recliners. They've got Tempur-Pedic mattresses. They got Tempur-Pedic pillows just made just for you. All the accessories that you may need if you have pains. It all kind of blends together. Relax the back, early bird CBD. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of goes in together, man. But for folks that are really struggling with back pain, you'll find an accessory over there. You'll find a recliner or a chair, an office chair that's going to fit you at Relax the Back. They got two great locations. One is in the Hill Country Galleria. It's right across the street from Whole Foods in the North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center. Across the street from the Container Store. Live pain-free like the Buck at Relax the Back. And thank you to Early Bird CBD also. Yesterday, when I played golf, it was a muggy mother out there. The sun was not shining. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. But that Early Bird CBD, I put that in my hydration drink before I left. And boy, I feel great today. I thought I was going to be miserable with all the humidity. My back feels great. My knees feel fantastic. I did not walk 5 miles yesterday on the golf course. I ended up walking about 3 because get in the cart, old man, because the tee box from where my other guys hit and from where the older guy hits was an average of about 8 yards in front. Some was like 4 yards. I got my 4-yard advantage at some of the holes yesterday. Man, was I talking crap? But thank you, Early Bird CBD. Feeling good today for sure.
Not cart path only yesterday?
No, why? It didn't rain, remember?
Oh,
Tuesday.
it rained overnight. The night before.
Still nice and dry where I was.
Sweet. I'll take that. Well, Early Bird CBD, look, for pain alleviation, for relaxation, for a mild euphoric feeling.
Yes.
All those things sound pretty good, right? Well, that's why we take Early Bird CBD products. They've got the gummies, they've got the drops, they've got tinctures, they've got tons of ways to get the benefits of CBD plus a microdose of THC. That's what you get. So when you take Early Bird CBD, you're actually going to feel their products and feel the effects, unlike maybe some of the other CBD stuff that you've tried in the past. It's a local Austin company, so you're supporting a local business when you buy Early Bird, and they're hooking you up with 20% off your first order. Just type in the promo code Bucky at earlybirdcbd.com, and boom, 20% off instantly. Try these products. You're going to love them just like we do.
Absolutely.
All right, Buck. So let's continue the buy or sell conversation for the Texas Longhorns. We've got some bold predictions for the upcoming season. And again, we're buying or selling. How about this one? The single season record for receiving touchdowns at the University of Texas belongs to Jordan Shipley. He had 13 receiving touchdowns at Texas back in the 2009 season. Buy or sell, either Cam Coleman or Ryan Wingo either ties or breaks Jordan Shipley's single season Texas touchdown record.
I'm selling.
Too high?
I think it's too high. I think there's too many receivers in this group that are going to catch. The ball is going to be spread out too. And that includes the running backs. That includes balls that get dumped off to guys who just beat a guy and walk into the end zone. I think there's just too many guys. I don't think any single individual player will get to that. Now, you know, that 8 to 10 mark, I think you may have a couple guys getting 8 touchdowns, 7, spread out like that. I think maybe the total TDs will get broken. We gave Arch Manning, his involvement in scores and stuff like that, but I don't think it'll be an individual that'll break that record this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm selling that. I go back to 2023. Adonai Mitchell had 11 touchdowns, and it felt like that guy was scoring pretty much every time he caught the ball. And even he was a couple away from tying that single season record. So I think both of these guys are going to score a lot, but there's too much talent on this offense. Arch Manning's going to get his both through the air and on the ground. I think Emmett Mosley's going to score a few times. I feel a lot better about the Texas running backs actually getting into the end zone this year. So I think Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers are going to have some good touchdown numbers. You got Sterling Burkhalter, you got Jermaine Bishop. You might have the tight ends catching a couple of touchdown passes as well. I just think there are too many dogs that need to eat for any of these guys to flirt with that 13 touchdown number.
Yeah, now I think there'll be more touchdown passes, long passes for touchdowns. Of the 35, 40-yard nature that will score touchdowns than we've seen in a while. I just don't think there's going to be an individual that catches that many.
Yeah, Arch Manning throws a beautiful deep ball. Even last year with some of the inconsistencies that he had. That's something, we saw it 2 years ago in his limited action, and we saw it at times a season ago as well.
Yeah, plus that dude messes with your head. Am I going to take off and run? Because he's looking down the field to throw the ball too. That's what he's so good at. Just when you think he's going to take off and he knows he's got yardage, somebody comes off a receiver and he finds that receiver. He does a great job of that.
Oh, for sure. He's a throw first kind of guy, but his athleticism and speed gives him the ability to take off and go when a play breaks down. And that's a red zone weapon too, those designed runs. That's why I want to see a lot of 20 personnel or 21 personnel for Texas this year. I just think about you got a backfield with Arch Manning in the shotgun, Raleek Brown to his right, Hollywood Smothers to his left. You got to account for all three of those guys down there. So, he's a total weapon. And I think Arch, we talked about it yesterday, is going to have a sensational statistical season.
Oh, yeah.
But because, again, there's just so many talented pieces on this offense, I don't think either of those wide receivers or any wide receiver on this team is going to get to 13. By the way, Jordan Shipley, the stats from that record-breaking 2009 season, 116 catches, 1,485 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
Now, did he have a couple punt returns in there for touchdowns that year? Did he have at least 8 touchdowns as a punt returner? I got to believe he had that going.
Yeah, I think he had 2 that year.
Yeah.
I know he had 1 in the OU game in 08, but I think he had 2 in 2009. Don't quote me on that. It's been a long time, and I've had a lot of Altstadt beer between.
There you go.
Although in 09, I was like 15, so maybe I shouldn't have been.
Maybe you should have had that many.
Maybe I shouldn't have had that many.
You started out like that little girl where you're at the stadium slamming them.
I wish, dude. I wasn't as cool as this girl was back in the day.
She's probably still got pigtails.
Yeah, she's probably like 7 or 8 years old now.
Wow, she's probably driving to the games herself.
Driving to the game, and she's on to hard liquor. She's done with the beer at this point. The video clip that, of course, went viral a couple of years ago of like that 4 or 5-year-old girl just downing a beer at DKR TMS.
My
good
goodness.
stuff right there. All right, so we're both selling on that. What about this one, running backs coach? We have spent plenty of time talking about how, I was going to say disappointing, but I'll just say bad the Longhorns running game was in 2025. Obviously, Texas revamps the running back room, a couple of transfers, 5-star recruit, new running backs coach. Buy or sell, Texas is top 3 in the SEC in rushing yards per game. For context, last year the Longhorns were 11th. The only reason they were that high was because of Arch Manning's legs. Last year, Texas was 11th out of 16 teams in rushing yards per game. Buy or sell, this year, they finish in the top 3 in the conference in that stat.
I'm selling still.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they'll be in the top 5. I think they'll be top 5. Okay. I'm not going to give them top 3. I won't. Georgia will have a runner. Alabama can't afford not to find a runner. That damn Missouri, if that kid with the bullet in him is okay, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
last year, your top 3 rushing offenses in the SEC. Figure this may help with some context. Missouri led the conference in rushing yards per game. Obviously, Ahmad Hardy, the guy you're talking about, was the best running back in the conference. They had 228 yards per game on the ground. Ridiculous. Second place was Arkansas. As bad as they were, again, they didn't win a game in the league. They had 192 rushing yards per game, but they had a very dual-threat quarterback with Talon Green, and their lead running back, Mike Washington, was a 4th-round pick in the NFL this year. And then A&M was 3rd at 184 yards per game last year. So you had an average team, a really bad team, and A&M that made the college football playoffs. So you don't have to necessarily be good. It's just that kind of has to be your identity, and it clearly was for all 3 of those teams.
I can take a top 5 because I know that Arch Manning is going to rush for a lot of yards himself. So that kind of takes the pressure off. Even though you got some newcomers, you expect them to be pretty good. With Arch Manning's numbers, top 5 is okay with me. Top 3, I don't think they'll be top 3, but top 5, yes. And they may be 5th. When I say top 5, they may be the 5th team.
Hey, that counts as top 5. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell this as well. Like I clearly believe Texas's running game is going to be a lot better, and I think they're going to flirt with the top 3. I just think Arch Manning is so good, and these wide receivers are so good to where Texas is going to lean on the ground game as much as maybe some of these other teams in the conference will. I still think A&M is going to try to run the ball as often as they possibly can, and their quarterback will be a big part of that. Ahmad Hardy, assuming he's healthy, I think Missouri's identity is going to be that again this year. I mean, there are a few teams around this conference. Georgia's always in the mix. They've got good running backs again. There's just a few teams that I think play more ground and pound than Steve Sarkisian does, to where they're going to have more opportunities to run. Maybe
Yeah,
Texas
when you're in the stands, BK screaming for to run the ball, he's going to throw the ball. That's the way he is at times, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I hope that Sark, if the run game is working, I hope he sticks with it. I think the most frustrating example of Sark abandoning the running game was the Sugar Bowl playoff game against Washington a couple of years ago, where the Longhorns were averaging like 6 to 7 yards per carry, and it's like, why are you throwing it so much? I think the game plan going in was one thing, and maybe it should have changed to something else during the game. But yeah, look, you've got all sorts of talent everywhere. It should be a balanced offense, but at its core, Steve Sarkisian wants to run the football.
Sure.
I think a lot of it's the same. Well, I don't like comparing anybody to Art Briles because I know what comes with that. But I remember Art Briles, the football coach, when he was at Baylor, like he would turn on SportsCenter after a Baylor game, and all they would show was like these 70-yard touchdown passes. And it's like, do these guys ever run? They ran it more than they threw it. Like the identity of the Art Briles offense was run first and then force the defenders to collapse in the box a little bit, and then you hit them over the top. Like Steve Sarkisian wants to be a run-first offense, but I don't think he's going to run, again, as much as some of these other teams in the conference because of the weapons that he has on the outside.
When he's got that kind of quarterback who can run, who's a part of it, but he's got these weapons on the outside to throw to, use those weapons. But, when you have to have those games in that third quarter and fourth quarter of some of these big-time games that you're going to be in, whether it's Oklahoma, A&M, or numerous others that you have to play in the SEC with 9 of those games. If you can run the clock out by running the ball and your running backs and your offensive line are getting it done, he's liable to surprise us and turn around and hand it off. Depends on how good these guys are at running back. Our expectations are pretty high of them and should be, because you went out and got them, and you've got a new running back coach that may be teaching these guys a little bit more. He wants to win games. He wants to get to this national championship game. So he wants, if you're running the ball and you can run the clock out and you're feeling good about it, why take a chance in throwing it?
I think he's proven.
Weapons, why do it?
Oh, he's proven that he's willing to do that as well. Like I think of the TCU game, what was it, 2022 in Fort Worth, where the Horned Frogs were going on a crazy comeback, and it was like just ride Bijan. Right. I think of the Alabama game, the win on the road in 2023, where like Texas held the ball for the last 6.5 minutes.
Right.
They just kept running it over and over again. They turned around and gave it to Jonathan Brooks, and they killed off the clock. So yeah, in those situations, I think Sark has shown like, if this is working, if we've got a lead and I could put this thing on ice, then I don't need to put the ball in my quarterback's hands. Just turn around and hand it off.
Yeah, but he just reminds me of the guy that if you can't cover his guys out there and what he's trying to do to you in the passing game, and it's still in the third quarter, and you as a fan are going, well, why are we trying to run the clock out? He's there because they can't cover my guys. That's why. The reason I'm not running the clock out is I still have an opportunity to score because they can't cover us.
Hey, run it up this year.
Yeah, we have too many weapons. What do you want me to do? I know I don't want you to run just for the fun of it. If you can just beat guys and score touchdowns throwing the ball, then that's how you beat them also. So
no more Mr. Nice Guy.
No,
we've heard a different Sark at the these press conferences and in these interviews this offseason. Like at times in recent years where he's really had the chance to step on the gas against some of these teams and turn these into blowouts. He's kind of eased up.
That's what you like to see. You'd like to see that happen.
No, I'm not a classy guy, so I don't want any class.
That's right.
I'm done with all this class talk with the World Cup nearing its end. It's
let's just run the clock out and move on.
Run up the score so we can cover these spreads for our cousins, please.
There you go.
That's what we're looking for. All right, buy or sell. A couple more of these here. How about this one, Buck? Last year, Texas led the SEC in takeaways. So buy or sell. For the second straight year, the Longhorn defense leads the conference in takeaways.
I will buy.
Okay.
I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy with the new linebacker who is a turnover machine himself. He may lead the conference just by himself in takeaways. So I'm buying that. I'm buying with the new defensive coordinators. They'll be more aggressive. There'll be more fumbles on the ground. handoffs to running backs that get smacked on contact. I think you're going to see a lot more balls being turned over that way. A lot more fumbles recovered by this team.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like turnover success doesn't often translate year over year.
Do you remember seeing balls on the ground that we just never got to? Remember those games where you,
Sure.
hey, they turned it over 3 times, but they really didn't turn it over. It was fumble, but they seem to get it. I think you'll see a lot more going the other way.
That's crazy, right? Texas led the SEC in turnovers forced, and I think part of the reason why Pete Kwiatkowski was showing the door was Steve Sarkisian didn't think they forced enough turnovers.
I know.
Like he wants a more aggressive defense that creates more chaos that leads to more takeaways. So that was a huge part of why Will Muschamp got this gig, and I'm fascinated to see if it works. I'm going to sell it because it feels like that's the smart money here.
Sure.
But I still think Texas forces a bunch of turnovers, and I still think they're incredibly opportunistic, and they'll get some interceptions. They'll get some forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, and I think they'll be top 3 in the SEC. I feel like that's too hard to guarantee 2 years in a row with the stat that's usually as fickle as that one can be.
Yeah, and a Georgia team that's just always there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really, really good defenses in the league, and I still think Texas will force a bunch of them, like more than 20 as a defense. And look, they play more games. They led the conference in takeaways despite playing less games than some other teams because they didn't play in a conference championship and they didn't play in multiple postseason games like say a team like Ole Miss did. So
and giving the credit where the credit is due, the Sooners can turn you over too.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
They can serve me a turnover at the fair, those carnies.
Their quarterback can turn it over also.
Their quarterback, John Interceptier, as you call him, can turn it over. And since we're taking shots at rivals, Mike Elko can down a few turnovers himself.
Oh my goodness.
All right. See, I had to throw that one in there. Last but not least, Buck, our final bold prediction, buy or sell for Texas, at least for today's program. This is the money one right here, literally. Buy or sell, Arch Manning wins the Heisman Trophy in 2026.
I am buying.
Let's go.
Yes, I am buying. Hey, he's got the group around him. It'll be about numbers. It'll also be about games being won at that time. That late in the season when those votes really start coming in, he'll be at peak performance at that time. And this Texas offense will be scoring 38 to 40 points. So I'm good with that. He should be. Well, I know he's going to the dinner and having dinner there, but I think he's going to win and take the trophy home with him.
Going to be Texas a finalist.
Texas will have its 3rd Heisman Trophy winner.
It's been too long since we've had a Heisman winner, right?
It has.
Should have had one in 2005. We all know that.
Right.
But obviously you got to go back to Ricky. The last millennium, the last time Texas has had a player win the most coveted individual award in the sport. It would be fun. I mean, it's Arch and CJ Carr, the quarterback at Notre Dame. Like those are sort of your 2 odds-on favorites right now, depending on which book you look at. I'm not going to rain on this parade, even though it's been raining outside all day. I'm going to buy it as well.
There you go.
Give me Arch to win the Heisman Trophy this year, and to what everyone thought he was going to do last year, it's all going to happen this time around.
Yeah, he'll have numbers and wins.
Second time's a charm for Arch Manning. And yeah, these individual awards, it usually helps when your team is really, really good. And you and I expect Texas to be really, really good. And they're going to be in the spotlight a lot with the schedule that they have. The eyes of the country will be upon Texas pretty much every single Saturday. But yeah, I think Arch, it all comes together for him. I think there's enough talent around him to where he's going to put up the stats. And again, I expect the Longhorns to be a playoff team, and that's going to help Arch's cause. So give me number 16 to become the 3rd Heisman winner in program history.
Yeah, and this is a feather in the head coach's cap too, if he can get that done.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Sark, I guess at Alabama, this probably goes to Nick Saban's ledger because he was the head coach, but Devontae Smith, the wide receiver, won a Heisman Trophy in that very weird COVID season.
Boy, and they threw the ball to him a lot, man. Wow.
Sark deserves, as the offensive mastermind and play caller, he deserves some credit for that. And I don't know if that goes to any ledger for the coach, but like his offense, when it's at its peak, it can produce ridiculous numbers and stats, and hopefully that turns into accolades for this year's team at Texas. This should be the best offense they've had at Texas, and Arch Manning's the biggest.
I'll just say that it helps when you can, this really helps when you can run the ball in for some touchdowns too, BK. 3 rushing touchdowns last year. I mean, and not a bunch of them over 15 yards rushes, period. I mean, this is a group that you have to see that number really, really change. That's really going to help. That'll help the quarterback with the passing game. They'll help the coach with the play calling. It's just, those are the things that this run game is going to be very important to the success of this football team, because I know they can throw it, but in order to make it easier on the throwing game for more big plays, you got to be able to run it. You got to put the fear in the heart of the defense that, hey, we don't always have to throw it to hurt you. We can run it and really hurt you. And that's what this team has to prove.
Yeah, there was none of that last year. Now, for the Arch Manning Heisman conversation, look, he had 10 rushing touchdowns. He might need to have something like that this season.
And he still will. The thing about him is those things are still going to happen for him, but they're going to happen really naturally. Yeah, it doesn't have to be quarterback counter call for him to do that. That guy's going to drop back, see guys with, like I told you, with their backs turned, running around with these great receivers, and he's going to go, I'm not going to get touched for 8 yards. What am I doing here? I'm going to go into the end zone, and then he's going to talk crap right into somebody's face. Yeah, of course.
I think Texas had 10 plays of 50 or more yards last year. 8 of them were through the air. Only 2 of them were on the ground. And I know 50 plus is like as extreme of an explosive as you could possibly get. But they, we've talked about it a lot. They struggled with 10 plus yard runs, 15 plus yard runs, 20 plus yard runs. But you don't need to look at the numbers. If you just watch this team play football a season ago, you know that element was not there. So, yeah, they've got to get better at that. That's going to make life a hell of a lot easier for the quarterback. It's also going to make life a lot easier for the offensive coordinator / play caller too.
Yes.
Being able to be a more balanced offense to where he could trust if he needs to turn around and hand the football off 30 times a game versus just, well, I feel like I should be balanced, so let's run the ball. Like there were times last year I thought Sark should have gone full. Yeah, it's like go Mike Leach. Just throw it 50 times a game and run it 10. You can't run it.
Why are you running it? It's not going to go anywhere.
But then again, your offensive line was so bad. If you did that, Arch Manning was going to get hit 30 of those 50 times. So it's like, I don't know.
Like I said last year, that guy knew where the weak link was, and he had a few weak links. So he knew that I don't have that much time back here in the pocket. I got to escape from where it's going to come, and I know where it's going to come from. I know which offensive lineman is just about to get beat by that certain guy over there. So,
I mean, it was left guard pretty much every single play.
Yes, and it was on that side.
Although there was enough to go around with the offensive line last year, they were taking turns. Hey, who's going to Ole this guy on this play?
Wow.
So that's
Once again, folks, it can't be worse than last year.
It won't be worse. It can't, and it won't.
That's one of my deals. It can always be worse. This is one of those. It can't get worse. It really can't.
No.
There'll be a lot of changes if it is.
Yeah. There needs to be like mid-season changes. And again, last year it took way too long for them to change the personnel of the offensive line. You can't get to that late in the season before you make any moves.
Now, the coach is going to be much more aggressive early. He knows what it's going to take. He can't be waiting around I was trying to let this guy settle in. Screw that.
You shouldn't have to make any moves against Texas State. Now, hopefully you're up by so much that you get your second and third team, even your fourth team guys in the game. But dude, if it's Ohio State, your O-line's struggling, you're down a touchdown at halftime, and you've got one guy up there just like clearly not good enough to handle that team in that atmosphere, that game.
Gotta go. That person got to go.
We're not waiting till week 8 to figure it out. We're making a change right now, and we're finding a way to win this game, the game that you keep calling a must win.
Yeah, this is not a fill it out week 2. It's got to get going. You got to put your team in a position as the head coach to start fast and finish strong. Like you said, hey, if you're up by 21, guess what? If there's a guy getting beat in the secondary and you're thinking about running the clock out, hell with it. Get up by 28 points, throw it.
We're running
No
up
reason
score.
not to.
Yeah. Hey, trying to get your quarterback the Heisman Trophy, so we both look
Right.
smart.
Yeah. Why? And that's the team, and that's where you get that. That's where you get the voters coming in. It won't be in week 1, but it sure will be in week 2 because you have a guy on the other side looking for the same deal.
That's a good point. All right, we'll take your thoughts. Some buy or sell bold predictions for Texas football in 2026. A lot of Longhorn conversation on today's show. Chip Brown.
Buy or sell in the special teams. Got a new snapper, new punter, new kicker. Does that worry you at all, or they just better be good?
Both. I'm not really worried about the long snapper. Kicker always worries me a little bit. Hopefully Gianni Spedic can do what Mason Shipley did last year. Just be really solid. New punter. Hopefully Max Shimino can be what Jack Bomeister was last year. Really solid. I guess the buy or sell. All right, I'll give you a quick buy or sell for special teams. It has nothing to do with those guys. It has to do with Ryan Niblett. Multiple punt return touchdowns last year. Buy or sell. Ryan Niblett has multiple return touchdowns again this year.
Minimum of 2.
So you're buying.
I'm buying for sure, yes.
Minimum of 2.
Yeah, I mean, he has a knack, and I know Coach Banks has struggled with some of the individuals that are on his punt return team, but this kid just has this knack of when to, explosions and when to go and what to do on punt returns. I'm not buying him as a running back. No matter what they try to sell me with that deal, I'm not buying that. I got too many runners that I can make do some special things. I don't need him in my backfield. I don't need him decoying. I don't need him on reverses. You just be a great punt returner for me. That's going to be plenty.
Yeah, you don't need to be Eric Metcalf. Just be Devin Hester.
Yeah, just be what you are. I'm not trying to make you into scaring the other team when you go into games, and I really don't give it to you anyway. Or when you go into games and it's going to you, and everybody on the other team knows it's going to. I don't need to play those games. I got too many really good runners and too much talent on my offense to try to make you something that you're not. They've been trying for years, DB, wide receiver, whatever he is, whatever his other position is that they've been trying, stop it.
You can be a master of one trade. You don't need to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah, you can be the master of that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're one of the best in the country in doing it. So
yeah, I won't complain if they are able to find a way to get Ryan Niblett seriously involved.
Oh, no, I won't either, but I just don't think they will.
I don't think they need to. They don't need to.
They don't need to. You got too many other guys.
You've got 3 running backs who are better. You've got like 6 or 7 receivers who are better than him. So
right.
Does he need to get all of those snaps? And then last year, like you said, it was, whenever number 21 was on offense, you kind of knew the ball was going to number 21.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You don't want to be predictable. That's what Texas was with him. So here's Longhorn Bear brings up my concern with Ryan Niblett getting multiple punt return touchdowns again. Is anybody going to kick to this guy? Now, we did say that last year, and people kept kicking to him as the season progressed. So maybe yes.
No, special teams guys are dumb. They're always trying to prove something that my guys can do this. We'll kick it to him. He's not going to do that to him. I've been around too many of those guys that just want to prove that they're special teams guru. We're just way smarter than you think. I got really good athletes. We'll go down and cover. And most of the times when they try to kick away from guys, they make mistakes, short kick it or gets kicked out of bounds. They screw it up. That's fine too at times. They very seldom are just these great punters that hit the corner and it bounces down there to the 3. They eventually shank the ball, get it blocked because they're thinking too much.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, every coach could say don't kick it to Niblett, but some of these college punters are going to screw up and they'll shank one and it'll go to Niblett. Or they'll try to be wise guy like, no, I can kick one high enough to where it's going to be a fair catch. Like, don't worry, coach, I got you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They try to prove a point and end up getting it shoved down their throat, or they shank one that goes 8 yards, and they're like, "Oh, I kept it away from him, coach. Didn't I keep it away from him? Yeah. Hey, thanks for the 8-yard punt."
Try to prove a point, and then it ends up getting shoved down your throat.
Or the shankopotamus.
That's all right. That one works a little better. It's a little more family friendly. Thank you for that. All right, we'll take your thoughts. The Dakota text line 512-222-9328. Chip Brown of Horns 24/7 will join us for our weekly Longhorns Insider segment. We might ask Chip about some of these questions and a few more Texas topics as well. But before we chop it up with Chip, about another round of sponsor shout-outs.
So my friends over at Hat Creek Burger Company since 2008 right here in Austin, Texas, serving up burgers, fries, and shakes. I did not have one yesterday before I played. I get out there and had a nice breakfast, but folks, lunch at Hat Creek Burger is fantastic. Good food, good folks, and a whole lot of fun. Just that simple. Hat Creek Burger is proud to be a place where you can come in hungry and you're going to leave full of queso, fries, big hats, unbelievable strawberry shakes. They've got it all at Hat Creek Burger. Love that place. Over 30 locations in the state of Texas, great playgrounds for kids, and unbelievable happy hour for adults there. You can find a Hat Creek Burger nearest you, folks. There's something for everyone at Hat Creek Burger Company.
You know what I had the other day from Hat Creek?
What'd you get that I haven't had yet?
The Bacon Royale.
Ooh.
Double
different type of bun, same kind of bun?
Same kind of bun, the Martin's potato, but double meat, double cheese, bacon, grilled onions.
Wow.
That hat sauce that they've got.
Grilled onions?
Grilled onions, baby. That's the only way I want my onions.
Nice.
I don't want raw onions.
I'm a raw onion guy. I maybe try one of these grilled onion deals.
You got to. Bacon Royales. If you like a bacon cheeseburger, get you one of those at Hat Creek. If you like going to things, I feel like most people like going to things.
I like going to things. If there's a place where I can sit down in the air condition, yes.
Well, centextickets.com if you want to go to a place where you could sit down in air conditioning. Now, if you're going to a Texas football game, you could buy a sweet ticket probably at centextickets.com. But they got your tickets for every Longhorn game in all sports. They've got any sporting event, any comedy show, any concert, any Broadway show, any event coming to our area. You could find a seat waiting for you at centextickets.com. Don't forget the promo code CENTEX10. If you type that in at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase. Seriously, for any event that you want to go to, whether you're buying one for just yourself, you're buying two for the wifey, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the hubby, whatever, or if you're, buying, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the whole family and the group of friends, whatever, 10% off from centextickets.com, the best ticket marketplace there is. Shop local, shop centextickets.com.
One of these years I'm going to go before they stop touring. I got to go see the Eagles at the Sphere somehow, some way. I got to get in touch with Shelby. I got to make that before they just decide. They keep doing these things where they disappear for a month, but then they come back for like 8 months there at the Sphere. I got to try that one time. I've never seen the Eagles perform.
I went to that exact show at that exact venue a couple of years ago, and it was incredible. So highly recommend. And yeah, I agree. You need to get out there and see it.
Yeah, I need to. I've been an Eagles fan. I like their music, but I've never seen them before live. I've never seen that. I've seen the Grateful Dead live twice.
There you go. That was probably fun. How many drugs were you on for those?
I don't quite remember the concert.
Yeah, I feel like nobody who goes to those remembers the concert.
Goodness,
that's the whole point of going to a jam band like the Dead or Fish or somebody like that. You don't remember half of what you saw.
For a concert, it was awful weird and quiet in the facility because people, there's like no communications. In the band, they didn't play overly loud. Everybody's just kind of humming and looking around.
The people watching at those shows.
Yeah.
As good as it gets right there.
The Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead. Yep. Amazing. Quick shout out to our friends at Sleep Cycle Center as well. Dr. Chad and his great team. Look, if you have trouble sleeping, if you are a snorer, if you have trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, maybe you're just tired all day long and you know something might be wrong with your sleep, it's not just annoying. It can be the sign of a serious health problem. More than 22 million Americans have undiagnosed sleep apnea, and this is something that can cost you your life. Seriously. NFL Hall of Famer Reggie White lost his life in his sleep because he had undiagnosed sleep apnea. That was undiagnosed. Don't let that be you. Look, Dr. Chad, he's made it his life's mission to help people with their sleeping problems. Free consultations to listeners of this show. You'll get $100 off an at-home sleep study if you mention this show. And it's not just CPAP, those loud, clunky machines that you don't want to take with you, and distilled water and all that crap. They got mouth guards, they got oral appliances, they have other things that they can do to help your snoring and to help all of your sleeping issues go away for good. I'm telling you, this is one of the most important things you can do. Do it for yourself, but also do it for the people who love you. Sleep Cycle Center, 2 Austin area locations, one up north, 183 and Breaker, the other in Lakeway off of 620. Go to their website, sleepcyclecenters.com, for more information and to schedule that free consultation.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, indeed. All right. Chip Brown will be joining us in a moment. By the way, the Eagles, you're not seeing all the original Eagles. You do know this, right?
I know that. I understand that.
People die too much. It's my big problem with this life is people die too much.
Yeah, like my guy from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. By the way, thank you for sending me the picture of the album. Am I getting that album?
No, you didn't text me back in time.
Oh my God. Were you in the store at that time?
I was in the store. I was in Galveston at some old antique shop that my girlfriend wanted to go to. And they had a record collection, just random ass records of all these old bands and artists. And I sent you a picture.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, huh?
I'll find it. I'll get you that album. You got a record player? You got something that could play it?
I got one of the little cheap ones now.
All right. Well, that's all you need.
I used to have one of those big. I used to have a Magnavox, and Chip Brown would know what a big Magnavox looks like. It looks like the size of my couch over there. And then after a while, I had that Magnavox. My mom had a Magnavox, and she used to play on Sunday morning. She'd be playing Johnny Mathis and walking around the house singing as she was cleaning. It was unbelievable. Those things don't even exist anymore. Nobody wants that big son of a gun in their house anymore.
The Magnavox record player?
Oh, yeah. Stereo console. That thing was huge. Stored books in it, stored your homework in it, your Encyclopedia Britannicas were inside of that thing. That thing would hold everything, all your albums.
I know what you're talking about. And God, I haven't seen one of those in years.
I know. Nobody wants that in their. They won't take that in an apartment. But I think I got one of those little ones. They have little ones now.
Yeah,
that the sound is okay.
I've got a just run of the mill, the most basic record player that you could find, and it has like a tiny built-in speaker that sucks, but I just plug it into like an actual speaker so it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play 45s, little 45. Chip Brown knows what the 45s are. Chip probably had some 45s back in the day.
Oh yeah, baby, I had some 45s.
I had the Jackson 5. I had Motown. I had all the Motown sound on 45s. Oh, yeah.
You go to the record store, man. If you couldn't afford a full album, you bought a 45. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole stack of 45s.
That's right.
I love it. Well, Chip Brown, horns247.com, our Longhorns insider, joining us here on Bucky and BK. And, of course, our weekly Chop It Up with Chip segment brought to you by our friends at Cover 3. We've got a very frozen Chip today. Can you hear us okay, C Breezy?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Got you. Loud and clear. Your face is frozen, but that's all right. People need to hear you more than they need to see you, I think. We're radio guys at heart. Let's start with Texas basketball, Chip. Between the last time we've talked, the Longhorns landed a commitment and a signing from the number one recruit in America, Marcus Spears Jr., reclassifying from 2027 to 2026, signing with Texas. He will join Sean Miller's squad for this coming season. I know you've done your research. I know you've written a couple of pieces at Horns 24/7 about this. Just your thoughts on this pickup and how big of a deal is it for Sean Miller going into year 2 in Austin?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge. When things are going your way, man, they go your way. And right now, Texas athletics, good heavens. Yeah, so Marcus Spears Jr., the number one prospect in the 2027 recruiting cycle. The guy is a two-way player. He's, 6'10". He's, his motor. That's the thing that stands out the most about him is his motor. He just is so competitive, and he's got really good competitive intelligence. He shares the ball. Normally you hear a number one player in a recruiting cycle and the guy's a ball stopper. Marcus Spears Jr. is a guy who's going to make the right decision. If he gets double teamed, he's going to find the open guy, but he has, he's not maybe as skilled as like a LaMarcus Aldridge right now. But that was the comparison that I got from someone inside the program, Chris Bosch, a young Chris Bosch, who played 1 year at Georgia Tech and became a all-star in the NBA. In this situation, because Marcus Spears Jr. is reclassifying, he just turned 17. He's not eligible for the NBA draft until 2028. So if everything goes well, he should play at Texas for 2 years. And that's a guy who may or may not start. I mean, you've got Elijah Freeman as a small forward at 6'8". At the 4, you're definitely going to start David Punch, the TCU transfer, who's only 6'7", but plays way bigger because he's really physical. He's got long arms. And then you got Matis down there, Matis Vokatitis. I mean, suddenly Texas's front court is a monster. Now, the depth behind Matis Vokatitis is young guys, but you've got a really solid front court. And of course, you've got, Isaiah Johnson and Mikey Lewis and Austin Gooseby, Amari Evans from Tennessee, who's going to, another guy with long arms and length and can defend. Like, it's hard not to get swept up in it and imagine what Sean Miller can do with this group, because he's got guys who really fill every need. He's got size. He's got skill. Isaiah Johnson is a guy who can get his own shot whenever he wants. It's funny to hear some of the guys talk about Isaiah Johnson because they're like, he is an unbelievable scorer. So he's going to be a scoring point guard, which is always tricky. Do those guys know when to pass the rock or take the shot? Because every shot looks good to a guy who thinks he can make them all. So it's going to be, it's not just add water. They got to bond. They got to develop chemistry. They got to know what each other's doing and where they're going to be so that, they can set up everything. But I think Sean Miller's really energized by it. Why shouldn't he be? He's got the coach with the most wins without a Final Four. And he's been to, numerous Elite Eights. He's ready. And so it's hard not to get really excited about what's going on with Texas basketball. And of course we know what the anticipation is for this Texas football season. So exciting times on the 40 right now.
Chip, I think this really helps Vokatitis out an awful lot. Another guy that plays above the rim where, a lot of times he gets the ball in the post and some little dude comes doubling around the corner and knocking the ball away. Now he can look over the top of guys and have a guy who can get over the top of the rim too, passing over the top instead of guys doubling them down low and taking the ball from him and stuff. I think this is going to make him a better player.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got smart bigs. David Punch is a really good, post-to-post passer. Mm-hmm. And Elijah Freeman at 6'8" is basically a guard in a forward's body. He's going to be able to make good decisions passing the ball. And that's where, a guy like Marcus Spears Jr. is going to, prove to be really valuable, because I think he gets that part of the game too. So you could have some really interesting, matchups. You could have a lot of, how are teams going to defend Texas? Because again, you've got the length, you've got, they got guys who can get their own shot, who can space the floor. We haven't even talked about, Bo Ogden, who I hear is holding up really well in workouts like he belongs. He's shooting it. He's got confidence. He's not, nervous and clanging everything. And same for Austin Gooseby. So you've got a lot of weapons. Sean Miller's got to, formulate, but I agree with you. I think Matas is going to learn a lot from these guys. Like David Punch is going to tell him, don't bring that ball down.
Yeah.
Just keep it above your head, throw it to me, or go up and get your shot. And so I think having that kind of a veteran presence, David Punch is a no nonsense guy, super confident. He's going to be an alpha for this team. And guys are going to listen to him because he's done it. So I think that was really good to bring in a guy who's going to be kind of the voice of the front court. And then, he'll tell Isaiah Johnson what's going on. You shouldn't have taken that shot. You should have thrown it to Matas or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have some good on-court leadership too.
I love it. Chip Brown, Horns247.com, joining us here. Our weekly Chop It Up with Chip Longhorns Insider segment brought to you by Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. Last basketball question, Chip. I got to ask you. I mean, you brought up the stat, Sean Miller, more wins than any active college basketball coach who has not reached a Final Four. Next April, the Final Four is in Detroit, your old stomping grounds. Is it destiny? Is it meant to be that you're going to get to cover the Longhorns in a Final Four in your hometown?
Let's go.
Come
Ford
on.
Field, baby.
Oh.
We'll all get together, have mom spaghetti right in downtown Detroit.
There you go.
It's actually not bad. I've been to Eminem's little mom spaghetti there, right across from Tiger Stadium, actually. But yeah, let's go. Come on, Sean Miller.
Make it happen. Well,
take
Chip,
us on a magic carpet ride to Detroit.
Yeah, amen. Well, you talked about the excitement surrounding Texas football as well. I'm going to ask you about a player. I know your insider piece last week at horns247.com was about Kobe Black making the move from cornerback to safety, the former 5-star year 3. It feels like this needs to be the time for Kobe Black. And I was a little surprised by the position change, considering I felt like he was going to be competing for a starting spot at corner, and now he moves to safety. And I always get worried. This is the pessimist in me that, okay, you're this late in someone's career and it hasn't worked out in one spot. They're not changing his position because they think he's all that great at the other spot. They're changing his position because he's not that good at his original spot. What do you think Kobe Black's going to be as a safety? And do you think he can be a legitimate, impactful contributor in this Texas secondary in 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kobe Black is on a mission, and I think it's really interesting that he played corner at Waco Connolly when Jelani McDonald was the other corner. And so, in talking to, Kobe Black's dad, Keith, who played on that 1998 Kansas State team, was Michael Bishop's roommate. He still contends that Sir Parker did not get in the end zone, that his knee was down, and K-State should have won that game and played for the national championship. But, that he said that Jelani McDonald looks out for Kobe like a little brother. And I think that Kobe Black had some bad luck last year. He had a groin injury, then he had an ankle injury. His brother Corey, who's a cornerback for the Giants who played at Oklahoma State, told him, man, if your ankle's not right, don't play because it's gonna look bad on you. Well, he played and he got beat, and it looked bad on him. And they sat him down, which his dad said was a good thing because he finally got healthy. And then when he played against A&M, he had a big game. Was playing with confidence, flying around, had the big interception late. And I think that fed his confidence. And now the guy is, when he's not working out with his team, he's working out with trainers. He's working out with Bam Blake here in Austin, who worked with Taff and, Jade Barron and Makuba. And, he knows it's his time. He knows that, you get to be a junior. If you haven't established yourself in the lineup, you're getting recruited over. So I expect good things from Kobe Black this year. And he knows the coaches have told him, you've got to stay healthy, dude, because, you're having these soft tissue injuries and it's really affecting us being able to evaluate you because you're missing practice time. You're out of sight, you're out of mind. And so now he's doing the Jordan Whittington thing where he's having to do extra just to make sure his body's right. Go in an hour earlier than everyone else, do all the stretching, all the, stuff to make sure that he stays healthy. So I think this is a year where you're going to get Kobe Black's best shot. And, he played some safety in high school, and I think he's better when he can see the whole field. So, I think one of the knocks on him was, the man coverage wasn't as good as it should have been. But I do think some of that was because of his health. So we'll see. He can play both, outside, inside. Grayson Littleton can play nickel. He can play outside. Kobe Black can play nickel. So I think that versatility is going to be really helpful. But I do expect to, I expect Kobe Black to make some noise in 26.
Chip, we had a little buy and sell this morning. BK had, where Texas was the number one team in the SEC in turnovers. Your expectations this year, and I know how much you love that linebacker, Biles. I mean, do you expect him to be number one again? You expect him to be in the top 3, top 5 in turnovers? You expect to see more balls on the ground from hits by guys on this defense and the way they play?
I do. I remember, I think in 2008, I think Texas struggled with forcing turnovers and Muschamp. I remember Muschamp saying that can be an infectious thing. Like
right.
if you get turnovers early, they just seem to keep coming, and if you don't, it can start to get to be a bugaboo in the minds of the players and whatnot. They had such a good year, turning teams over last year. They were plus 14. And so I think that, because you've got guys back, Jelani McDonald, Ty Anthony Smith, Colin Simmons, I think there's a chance for that to carry over. Then when you add guys like Biles and, Bo Masco and, those guys, I mean, gosh, Biles has always created turnovers. And last year, three defensive touchdowns in 1 year, led the nation. So, and he's hungry as can be. I mean, Raheem Biles wants to win. He wants to win. He wants to be in a championship game. So I think if this team stays healthy, I think they've got a chance to really, get that ball out.
Chip Brown, horns247.com, joining us here on Bucky and BK, our weekly Chop It Up with Chip segment brought to you by Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. Chip rocking the Cover 3 hat today. It's a good look right there, my man. Well, we talked about the secondary, and since we're talking about the defense, and you brought up the injury troubles with Kobe Black, I feel like it's time to bring up the injury troubles with Jonah Williams. And I've seen some positive reporting about him over the last couple of weeks that he's healthy, and maybe there's a belief that he'll be ready to go for the start of fall camp in early August. Has Texas finally given him enough time to really get that body right? And I know it gives people UTSD to ask about expectations for Jonah Williams, but can this be the year where he actually stays on the field and contributes for the Longhorns?
Yeah, I mean, that's the $1 million. He should know by now that he's one of those guys who's going to have to do the extra work. He's obviously got, he's a finely tuned instrument. Sometimes you can be a little too finely tuned and those strings pop a little easier than others, but it's time. I mean, this was the number one guy in his recruiting class. And I know from talking to Casey Hampton that this kid is super special when he's on the field, either football or baseball. And Casey Hampton was like, I can't wait to see, and for everyone to see what this kid can do, what he did at Galveston Ball down here, in high school. Because he's like, the guy just feels the game like the special safeties, like Earl Thomas, like, Roy Williams at OU, those guys who just have that incredible feel at that position. So, I think part of the reason Kobe Black's working at safeties because of the unknown about Jonah Williams. And Derek Williams is still there. And obviously you got Jelani McDonald, but you got to have impact guys out there. I mean, the way that Texas has been playing, at safety, Makuba and Taff and these guys, you've got to maintain a high level and you got to have some depth. But this is a big year for Jonah Williams because, he's been in the meetings. He's absorbing the defense of Will Muschamp, and he's a smart guy. I mean, he's a very fast processor. So if he's healthy, watch out because, we've been waiting on this guy, and I trust Casey Hampton as much as I trust anyone. If you earn praise from Casey Hampton, you've done something because he didn't like a lot of his own teammates when he was at Texas, He used to go up to Chris Sims and be like, hey, we're not having any interceptions today. We're not having any pick sixes today. Okay.
Oh, he was different. That's for sure.
Dog. I mean, a dog's dog. He should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's on the ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm like, get him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That guy was the best nose tackle of his decade with the Steelers. He held down the middle of that line on 2 Super Bowl winning teams. I mean,
yes, he did.
Yeah.
What a good young dude that guy is, man. He's something.
Love Casey.
For sure. Chip Brown, horns247.com, joining us here on Bucky and BK. My last one for you today, Chip. Again, keeping the defensive theme going. Lance Jackson. I think he may be the most important player on the Longhorn defense this year, right? We know how good Colin Simmons is. We expect big things from him and what's very likely his final year on the 40 acres. Replacing Ethan Burke, no small task. Lance Jackson, the former 5-star, going into year 2. Do you feel like he can be good enough to where opposing offenses have to respect him and it can't just be we're doubling Colin Simmons on every single play?
I mean, he's such a physical specimen. He knows how to rush the passer. He had double-digit pressures last year, but he was not a good run defender. And so teams ran at him. It was notable. They would take him out. They put Ethan Burke in because Ethan Burke was one of the best run defenders at the defensive end position. Colin Simmons became a good run defender starting in that Florida game, believe it or not. He was just a different physical guy, taking on guys, shedding blocks, making the play. That's what Lance Jackson has to do. It's the hardest adjustment for a young player is to, figure out how to use your hands to keep them, where you can see the play and then, shuck them. And so, Justice Terry is another guy who's going to be, I know he's playing at defensive tackle, but the way that Muschamp plays that strong side defensive end, he has those guys play the 5. He has them play the 4-eye and at times play the 3 technique. So I think there's a lot on Lance Jackson and Justice Terry and Zena Umazolo, because those guys are all big enough, strong enough. They fit exactly what Muschamp wants to do at that strong side defensive end. They just got to keep getting better at it. And Alan Clark, has been doing a good job with those guys, and they're going to be able to rotate. But yeah, Lance Jackson look, he played more snaps than any other freshman last year on defense, more than Cade Phillips. He's a guy they love. I think Ethan Burke at times felt like he was getting pushed out for Lance Jackson, and Ethan Burke was like, don't push me out. I got more plays in me. But yeah, those 3 guys are going to make or break that strong side defensive end position.
Yeah, once that kid learns how to play outside the box and still make plays, when his coach wants him to be a technician and all of a sudden he plays outside of what you expect from him and he still makes the plays, he probably will. That'll probably get him going a couple plays like that. He's still got to work on technique probably still when it comes to the run game and defending the run. But it's those guys, those natural guys out there, Tony Brackens, that just played, no matter what you call it defensively, he played outside the box. He went around the guy when he was supposed to, but he made the play. He just would make plays. You couldn't stop him. That's when those guys get really good.
Yeah, and you make a big jump from your freshman to sophomore year because you can look back on all the film and say, okay, now I get it. Now I know exactly what to work on in practice.
Sure.
And that's going to be on, Muschamp will demand that. Alan Clark will demand it, and Kenny Baker. So yeah, this is a big year for that position because you look everywhere else on the line. Alex January made big strides last year. He's a SEC player. Murad Watson took a little step back last year from his year at Syracuse, but then he got better at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got Ian Gaffard in there too at, 378. That guy, it takes 2 blockers. So the linebackers should be free. And that's what you want. And Muschamp loves these linebackers. Like, he loves Raheem Biles. He loves Justin Cryer. They know how to get A-gap pressure. They know how to get through it and, be disruptive. We saw some of the freshmen get a chance to do that in that open practice at the end of spring, and they didn't get through. You got to have some, violence in that. And they're learning it. They're going to be great, I think. Atkinson, Rocky Cummings, Cozy Opala. But yeah, I mean, this is an all-in year, so you got to have that defensive line on point, because the run defense for Texas has been really good the last 3 years. Can't take a step back.
Yeah, agreed. Chip, how's the knee?
Hey, man, I got 131 degrees of flexion.
Nice.
And I'm at 0 for extension. So I'm just trying to get, a little bit more of the pain out, and I'll be cooking. I might be playing golf when I get back from SEC Media Days.
There you go.
Boom.
Damn, I hate the pain. Old guys don't like pain.
No more pain.
No.
The good news is the pain is in my quad, because that's where they, had to do a little cutting. But it's coming back, baby. Watch out.
There you go.
No pain, no gain.
So next week, I'll be in Tampa when I talk to you guys.
There we go. There we go. We'll look forward to it. Chip, great stuff as always, my friend. Continued health, safe travels to Tampa, and we'll chop it up next week.
All right. Appreciate y'all, fellas.
There he goes. Chip Brown, horns247.com, our Texas Longhorns insider. If you're not a member or subscriber, horns247.com, you are missing out. The best Texas coverage you can find. Support Chip and Eric Henry and David Eckert and the whole team that they've got over there at Horns 24/7. Love those guys. And again, they do a great job. And also love Cover 3, because they present the Chop It Up with Chip segment that we have on the show each and every Wednesday. Cover 3, the best sports bar in town. Anderson Lane, just east of Mopac. Oh, man, I went to Cover 3 last week, had the buffalo chicken sliders. Yeah, those are good. I mean, they've got so much good food there. That's what separates Cover 3. Yeah, of course, they got the cold drinks and the great beer selection and TVs everywhere. I mean, everything you want and need in a good sports bar, but the food is what sets them apart. Something for everybody. The Bloody Mary bar on the weekends. They've got a great brunch menu on weekends as well. The social hour menu during the week. Food that is fantastic. Go to Cover 3. You're looking to watch a soccer match this afternoon. You want to watch that?
Yes.
Go to Cover 3. It's Cover 3 Dining, Spirits, Sports.
Sweet. Love Cover 3, man.
Yes, indeed. All right. Any thoughts on anything Chip had to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think he believes this defense is going to be still pretty special. And, as he said, it's hard to believe that the run defense has been like this for 3 years. And for me, I'm still, when does it end? Well, it doesn't end. Why should it?
Well, that's the hope. And again, it did take a bit of a step back last year. Like, it was elite in 23 and 24.
Oh, yeah.
Last year it was still very, very good. I think like top 20 in the country. But yeah, it's been a huge part of the defensive success around here in recent years, as they've done a great job being able to stop the running game. And that will obviously be tested again, because there's some great rushing teams and running backs that the Longhorns will have to play. So
absolutely,
like you always say, and like Chip just said, that element of this team cannot take a big step back.
No, it really can't. And in this conference that you're in, if you're in the Big Ten and you're in the SEC, you have to be able to stop the run. Sorry, because like I said, for years and years, it doesn't matter, and it's still going to happen. Everybody will test Texas in the run game. Will they be willing to fight in the trenches? And they found out for 3 years, yeah, they're willing to fight, but that's not going to stop them. They're always going to think Texas is soft. They just will. That's just the way that's just innate in teams that play against Texas. They'll give in, but Texas, they haven't done that. And like you said, they took a little bit of a step back towards the middle of the season and the end of the season last year. They can't do that now. Now you're playing 9 of those teams.
9 of those teams in the league, plus
yeah.
Ohio State out of
Yeah,
the league.
plus that group. Yeah, plus Texas State.
Oh, you're right. Don't sleep on the Bobcats.
Yeah, well, I thought you were maybe sleeping on them.
How about 11 power conference teams that Texas has to play? Because don't forget, the Bobcats are in the Pac-12 now.
There you go.
Or the Pac-8 or
Nothing.
whatever.
Hey, nothing's easy.
And then the Roadrunners, that's your only non-power conference game. It ain't baseball, so we're good. We got rid of the meeps in baseball this year, so
yes,
that curse, I think, and I hope is gone forever. All right, well, let's talk a little golf. Oh, maybe not gone forever. Oh no. Watch out for the meeps. We'll talk a little British Open here. That gets going tomorrow. Really tonight. The first tee time is at 12:35 a.m. Central time.
Man.
We'll preview that. We'll let you hear from Scotty Scheffler, world number 1 and defending champ. But before we talk a little golf, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Fellow Jay and the gang over at Sue Patrick with the incredible selection of Longhorn apparel. Of course, they've got it all. Collectibles, accessories, tons of Texas-themed items, gifts, books, hats galore. T-shirts are available. All the new polos for golf polos are out there for the new year. And, hey, if you're going dining, you want to be definitely checking out some of the golf polos, whether you're going to the game, going to dinner afterwards, dinner before the games. Well, there's a couple of games that you want to be going to dinner before, but there's dinner afterwards. You know, you want to look good, look sharp at the game. Well, Sue Patrick's, they've got just that for you. Sue Patrick offers free shipping on online orders of $59 or more, free curbside pickup. And now they're restocking the Jelly Cats. Jelly Cats will return, of course, at Sue Patrick. And for more information, please go to SuePatrick.com. 50 years of service in Central Texas, Sue Patrick.
Yes, indeed. Rocking the back-to-back national champion Texas softball cap today. Get you all the Longhorn gear that you need.
Hey, we're not far out, BK, of course, the unveiling of the Texas schedule glasses. Oh, yeah. We're not that far away, folks, so be ready for that.
That is a must-have for your
absolutely. I've got the last 3 years of them.
Love the schedule glasses and fill those bad boys up with Altstadt beer.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, I know Jay has had a few Altstats in his time. That's a combination that he believes in. It's a combination that I believe in as well. Look, Altstadt beer is the best beer that you can find all throughout the great state of Texas. Talk about the beer all the time. Maybe a trip down to the Altstadt Brewery when the weather gets a little bit better. That is the place to go. If you're looking for something to do, but you don't want to get on a plane and deal with TSA and the price of flights these days, I had a little road trip down to Fredericksburg. Look, there's a ton to do in that city, but the Altstadt Brewery, that's the place to go. It's a great drive right through the heart of the Central Texas Hill Country. The brewery is massive. Live music every weekend. Of course, you get to see how the great beer is made. They've got an indoor area. They've got an outdoor beer garden. They've got a restaurant whipping up some great European-style cuisine. It is such a fun time and a great day trip for the beer drinkers in your life. Go to their website, altstadtbeer.com. You can check out the event calendar. Again, there's always something going on. You can just show up whenever, and you're going to have a great time. But tons of great things happening at the Altstadt Brewery all summer long. And, of course, you can get some Altstadt beer wherever you buy your beer. It's the official beer of BK. It should be the official beer of you as well. It's Altstadt beer, no impurities, no regrets.
Our good friends over at Woods Comfort Systems, let's not forget about them, because you're not going to forget about your air conditioning at this time of year for sure. And folks, they've been doing it for 70 years in Central Texas, air conditioning and heating, and now they are doing plumbing. A lot of rain out there, folks. Anything that goes kind of wacky with your plumbing or you got any flooding, please call on the guys at Woods Comfort Systems to get that done for you. Also, trust in them when it comes to plumbing. I definitely trust them when it comes to heating and air conditioning. And if anything goes wrong with the plumbing, I'll be calling on them for that. Also, 70% off of 36 months of financing for any of their Bryant systems. Trust those folks there. Woods Comfort Systems, nobody does it better.
WoodsComfortSystems.com. And speaking of the rain, hey, your roof is taking it on the chin this week.
Yes, it is.
It's not just hail. Hail is not the only thing that can cause problems to your roof. The rain can cause issues over time as well, and you don't want to spring a leak. You don't want water all of a sudden dropping into your home. If that does happen, reach out to Qualis, and they'll get you fixed up right away. But you want to make sure that your roof is always good, always protecting your family. our friends at Qualis Roofing and Construction. They will come out to your place free of charge. Seriously, free inspections, free storm assessments. They'll come by your place. They'll let you know, hey, everything might be perfect. If that's the case, they'll tell you everything's perfect. You don't need us. Thanks. We'll see you next year. If something's wrong, hey, could be a very minor, cheap fix. They also will help you file an insurance claim as well. They'll do the hard, annoying parts for you, and then they will get your roof patched up. You don't want to deal with a major, costly repair. Nobody does. So get out in front of this. Again, Qualis Roofing and Construction. They will come to your place for free. Tell them you heard about them from us, and they'll also buy you a Longhorns t-shirt just for having them out. 512-257-0033, or you can find out more on their website, qualisgc.com.
Love them.
All right, let's talk a little golf, Buck. Tomorrow, or really later tonight, the fourth and final major of the year will get started. The British Open, called the Open or the Open Championship.
Whatever they like to call it, those soccer players.
Whatever those weirdos want us to say. To hell with them. We're independent. I'm calling it the British Open. That's what it is. We've got our own Open here with the U.S. Open, of course. But we tee off from Royal Birkdale, the first tee time at 12:35 a.m. Central Time tonight/tomorrow morning. The big storylines going into this one, I think always the biggest storyline going into any major is Scottie Scheffler, right?
Scottie and Rory.
The defending champion is Scottie Scheffler. And, of course, you've got that, but also you've got the fact that he missed his first cut in 4 years last weekend, kind of weighing on Scottie Scheffler. Still the world number one, still the Vegas favorite to win this weekend. How you feeling about Scottie finding a way to repeat and get that claret jug one more time?
I like his chances, but you know who I really like the chances of? Rosie.
You always like the chances of Rosie.
Yeah. Rosie gets it done. Scottie comes in. Scotty's used to second now. He comes in second.
Scottie another runner-up finish. You're going to do that to him?
Another $2.5 million runner-up.
Yeah. Well, here's your problem with your Rosie pick. There has not been an Englishman who has won the British Open since Ma'am Nick Faldo back in 1992.
Wow.
It's before I was born.
Sort of like soccer.
It's been a long time since a local has won the claret jug. So Rosie's been close. He's won majors before. Everybody knows how good Justin Rose is, but almost 4 decades of history going against him this weekend.
I'm looking at Rosie to win it.
All right. Well, that means he won't.
I mean, when Scottie to play second, that means he probably will.
Yeah, Scottie Scheffler, of course, just one win this year. It was the first PGA Tour event of the season. He's got 4 runner-up finishes, but obviously has not won a major championship.
Hey, those second-place checks ain't bad this year.
No, but I think he's tired of finishing second.
Yeah, and he's tired of the money.
Well, here's I don't think he's tired of the money. I didn't say that. A couple of bits of sound from Scottie Scheffler here. We'll start with this one. He was asked like what this year has been like for him. Again, he's been close, but a lot of no cigars for the lifetime Longhorn. Here's Scottie Scheffler just talking about this 2026 season.
I think just towards the end of the season, you get a little bit tired, and like I said, I got a couple of days off, reset the mind, reset the body, and just kind of get back to feeling even and at peace. And so going into this tournament, I really do. I've had a very solid year, but like I said, frustrating at times because I've been close and I haven't been able to get it done like I have been in years past. But overall, I feel like I know what my why is, why I'm out here playing, and I'm excited to try and defend my title this week, and I'm looking forward to getting out here on a really firm golf course. I think it's going to be very fun and interesting to play, and we haven't. St. Andrews was really firm, but outside of that, I haven't played an extremely firm Open Championship yet, so I'm excited to get out there and see what it's like under competition as well.
Yeah, your shot making has to be on the money. Your putting really has to be on the money at this place. So this should be fun for him. And he sounds excited about defending his championship. So that's the first step. I'm not just going just to be going there and thinking I'm going to win. I'm defending my championship.
I don't think you predict the weather overseas, do you?
No, I don't do that. We don't even attempt to do that.
Well, the weather guessers overseas are saying it's not going to rain. Like, I can't remember the last time for a British Open where there's been no rain in the forecast for all 4 days.
But there will be wind. There will be wind.
Sure. I mean, there's always going to be some element there, but there's always rain. There's delays, or there's playing through the rain, and there's wetness. And you heard Scotty mention it's going to be fast. It's going to be firm. Like, that's a different element. You might see some better scores, but also you got to deal with, again, what could be a very, very quick surface out there at Royal Birkdale.
A lot of low liners.
A lot of low line drops. The ball's going to roll. I mean, it's what you and I would love. We need the ball to keep rolling as far
I
as
would
possible.
definitely love it.
Yeah.
I would definitely need it.
Yeah, one more from Scotty Scheffler here. He was asked, like, what'd you do last weekend? It was the first time he's missed the cut in 79 events. Like, what did you do on Saturday and Sunday?
Let's see. I went over on Saturday. I went over to the gym, worked out, and then we traveled down here in the afternoon and got settled into the house. I played 18 on Sunday. Played 9 holes yesterday and today, so getting used to the golf course. And you never want to have a weekend off, but going into a tournament when you're defending, there's always a bit more stuff to do, and so it wasn't the worst thing in the world, albeit it was quite frustrating. But yeah, like I said, got down here a bit earlier, just getting used to the course and getting some extra rest, which on a week in which there's some more demands on your time isn't the worst thing, albeit very frustrating.
He's like, no, now I got 2 kids. You don't hear him say anything about those kids, do you? He goes, no, I got 9 in, I got 18 in. I got to go do what I got to do,
Oh, yeah. Well, they're overseas. He ain't coming back home to Texas for 2 days to then fly back to Europe, right?
Oh, when he says he's got a house, he's probably got a house there, and they're probably over there by now, spending some time with him. But you know what he's spending time at?
On the links.
On the links.
Yeah.
I got 9 in, I got 18. I go by and say hello. We had dinner time, but then I got to get back out there the next morning, played 18 more.
That had to be so weird for Scotty last Friday, like just missing the cut. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
No
like,
kidding.
wait, I wake up on Saturday like I don't really have anything I need to do today. It's been a long time for that guy to have that feeling.
I went to the gym.
Yeah. And of course, I went to the gym and has been playing golf all week, getting ready for it. So I will say this, Buck, while we're talking about the Longhorns, Royal Birkdale, that's where Jordan Spieth won his claret jug back in 2017. He hasn't won any major since then. Any confidence in Spieth?
No, I this is not the year that he makes the big turnaround. He's played okay, but he hadn't played enough. He hadn't made enough cuts and stuff. I don't see him doing anything.
Jordan Spieth, I've got the odds in front of me right here, but I'm having to scroll quite a ways to find Spieth. He is plus 10,000. So Scotty's your favorite at plus 750, followed by Rory at plus 950. Then you do have a couple of Englishmen with Fleetwood Hack and Matt Fitzpatrick at plus 2,000. Or excuse me, at plus 1,500, and then John Rahm at plus 2,000, rounding out your top 5.
Well, you don't want to see Fleetwood around.
No, that Aaron Rodgers wannabe.
You don't want to see that dude around.
I just don't like that dude. Get a normal
golfer. What about Fitzpatrick? He's played pretty good this year, too.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick's going to be in the mix. Your guy, Justin Rose, is at plus 3,300, so you get a pretty decent number with him if he's able to come through.
Where's Schauffele? Where does Schauffele look in this?
2,500. He's 6th, right behind Rombo. Let me ask you this. Have you gotten your NBC situation figured away? We were talking about you getting a TV antenna before yesterday's show.
I'm going to look at that today. The only thing about it is, with this AV consultation TV, I can't be pulling the 85-incher out myself. I can't be messing with that myself because I have to get back there, to put the antenna, to hook it up to the UBS or whatever, the HRJ or the ABC or whatever you have to hook it up in the back.
Oh boy.
So I can't be messing around with a 85-inch screen TV myself. So I've got to call Tom or somebody to come and do that. My wife, because it just doesn't pull off the wall, Can you imagine hearing the sound of that hit the ground?
That hurts just thinking about.
I know. So I'll find out what to do. I'll find out what to do with it. there's plenty of cable. You can get them all over Best Buy or wherever you had to get. And it sounds like it's pretty easy to hook up. But this thing, there's no, like you said, there's no wires or anything hanging in there below that.
Yeah.
So me back there messing with that and pulling stuff out, that's not the winning edge either.
And why are you not willing to go back to YouTube TV?
Not willing to make that move yet. If I have to make that move before the football season, I will, but I'm not quite ready yet to make that move.
Okay. Because the problem, like, I like the antenna bit. It's going to get you NBC, but it ain't going to get you Peacock, and it ain't going to get you Golf Channel, which is like where a lot of this coverage is going to be too. So I don't know.
Yeah, but my boss, she controls the switching back and forth, and she hates all that switching back to YouTube. I did enjoy YouTube until they got in their fights. You know?
Right. Yeah, they had their issue, which is why
and in football season, so somebody's going to have an issue.
All right.
They always do.
Get the antenna, I guess. Make sure
And
you got all the local
it's gotta
channels.
go underneath the TV and sit on my desk somewhere. So I just need one of you people to get this done for me. I haven't seen the my cardboard cutout yet. So
yeah, what's the deal? You didn't go back to that Valero?
I got time today. Today looks like the day. I have a meeting, and then I'm close to that area. I'm going to have to make that stop down there. I'm going to go at least $125 for that.
For the cardboard cutout of Arch Manning?
Yes.
All right. I like that.
Just meet me around back, lady. Just grab that cardboard cutout, slide it into my ride. Here's $1.25. See you later.
$125 for a cardboard cutout.
Yes, I will pay for that. That thing is life size. It's huge too.
You could probably call like whoever made that cutout and get it for $20.
Well, I haven't seen anything from the people telling me why it's at Valero, and I haven't any Valero reps. I know where there's a Valero store. I may go down to that. I'm going to go by the store. It's near Jack Allen's and say, hey, do you know the rep here? Can I get one of these? What do I need to do?
I love how that's your priority. Like, to hell with the British Open. Let me get that Arch Manning cardboard cutout.
Yeah, because you want to see that over my shoulder.
Of course. I'm in favor of that. Yes.
You want to see that at pregame events.
Yeah. And we're going to act like Arch Manning is with us every single week.
Yeah, I just worry about you can't take it up to Dallas with us because somebody put a big mustache on it or write something disgusting on it, some OU fan.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You got to worry about them. Our guy Rodney says it's for Panini, the card company. That's what Arch Manning is hawking as that life-size cardboard cutout.
Okay.
All right. Well, the people can keep sending in suggestions for what Bucky needs to do to be able to watch NBC this weekend. Hopefully they come through. People are saying you need an outdoor antenna. Someone's saying VC box. Someone's saying you got to call something. So I don't know. Wherever you go, make sure you ask.
Yeah, I'm not hooking up anything to the roof. If you see my roof, there's no way I can't get up there. I don't have a ladder tall enough. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Their Qualis guys aren't coming in unless they put a drone and drop that thing on top of his house. I can't get up there.
They'd figure it out. All right. We'll get to the BBK news here in a moment. Quick sponsor shout outs. Hey, McCall Custom Homes, they might be able to go do it.
Yeah, if I call Mike, believe me, he'd have the crew up here. They'd be scaling the side of the wall here to get up there.
That's the kind of customer service you get with McCall Custom Homes. The best of the business. Custom home builders, custom home remodelers. They can put stuff on your roof. They can also give you a new kitchen, help you renovate a bathroom, help you add some new life to your outdoor space. You want a putting green like the Buck has in your yard? They can do it for you. They're the best. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. That's their website. Check out the gallery of projects they've done. Check out the testimonials. Check out their 5-star reviews. Of course, they're A+ rated by the BBB. It's everything you look for when you're looking for a general contractor like this. Or you can reach out to Mike directly, 512-633-9580. Call him, text him, and they'll get you taken care of. Free estimates to Bucky and BK listeners. It's McCall Custom Homes. We build value into your home.
All right, what has found you? What has found you on the interwebs?
I'll go Gobundance real quick.
There you go. They found you.
Love our guy, Matt King. Love what Gobundance is all about. If look, you may like your job. You may like your family life. You may be healthy. That's great. Those are all great things. But you also might feel like there's something else out there, like a higher calling that you might have than what you're currently doing on a day-to-day basis. Reach out to Gobundance. This may be the team that you're looking for. This is high-achieving men who push each other to achieve things that they never thought possible. These are investors and entrepreneurs and super successful people from all walks of life who, again, push each other to get better in this life. If you're the smartest guy in every single room that you're in, maybe it's time to find another room. Push yourself a little bit. Don't get lazy. Don't be mundane. Don't be doing the same. It's boring in this life. You want to take your life to another level and elevate your health, your wealth, your family life, your business, everything that encompasses who you are and what you do. Gobundance is the team you've been looking for. Check out their website, gobundance.com, for more information.
Very nice.
All right, the BBK News, Buck. We've got to talk about this diarrhea parasite.
Yeah, I'm a lettuce eating fool. I do my own gardening, and the lettuce rancher has run out of lettuce here. So I've got to go to the farmer's market. Every Saturday I'm over there at the farmer's market getting meats, lettuce. My tomato garden's still growing. I still got my peppers growing. But this sounds like a nasty fungus. It's a fungus from bacteria from the anal area. So got to be careful.
Got to be careful out there. Yeah, I mean, some of these numbers, and I'm sure these have been updated, so we're a little behind with these stats, but we've got upwards of 1,700 confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis in the United States since May 1st. You also have more than 5,000 additional cases that are being investigated, according to the CDC, not the Chris Del Conte, but the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. There's been a growing outbreak. It's hit a number of different states. I think we're up over 35 states that have been affected, including Texas. I think we've had 68 confirmed cases here in the state, and also at least 15 people in Texas hospitalized because of this thing. So this is
the psycho diarrhea that comes with it. That doesn't do me well. I'm not a fan of diarrhea.
Is anybody a fan of diarrhea?
I don't know. People like to go and read in the bathroom and spend time in there and stuff. I don't like sitting around in there. I don't. I'm not one of those. And I'm not in that for you people that are going to stores and taking grapes out of the bag and putting them in your mouth without washing your hand. That's kind of nasty too. So now I'm especially on the lookout now for you grape smugglers.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be doing that regardless of if there's a diarrhea parasite going around.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
If you want to eat out of the bag of grapes, you can. Just buy that bag of grapes.
Yeah.
You can eat all of them by the time you hit the checkout line. I don't care. But don't be like, let me try one from this bag, one from that bag, one from that bag. Let me pick my nose real quick and wipe my butt, and then let me grab another. Don't be doing that.
No, don't do that. And don't be fondling the lettuce and putting it back into the back. And they're talking about stuff being even wrapped, lettuce that's been wrapped.
Yeah. And America's under attack. And by that, I mean Taco Bell's under attack. There are people who are blaming Taco Bell for maybe starting this outbreak, something with their lettuce.
I was a little worried, BK, because I went there about 2 weeks ago. I was a little worried that I had 4 crispy tacos with lettuce in it. And a little worried about myself, but I'm figuring it's all right.
Know by now if it's been a couple of
weeks. Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
That thing's already gone through your system, so you don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, Taco Bell under attack, and apparently they've been removing certain ingredients at select restaurants just to make sure that they don't get held liable for this outbreak.
One of our great institutions they're attacking.
Yeah, an American icon. And something that bonds multiple cultures and nations, because obviously it's Mexican food that you're serving at Taco Bell.
Oh my goodness.
So they're under attack, but basically Cyclospora is what this foodborne parasite is called. Goes without saying, it can cause severe gastrointestinal illness.
Oh.
Like you said, it's been linked in the past to herbs, salad greens, and berries. So maybe avoid all 3 of those things right now.
I wonder if
And
grapes come into the heading of berries for them.
I don't know, but I'm
I
a
like
berries
I
guy
love
too.
good
I like
grapes.
berries.
And I'm a grape guy.
Well, it didn't say grape. Grapes aren't berries, right?
I mean, they may put it under the heading of they may say berries. No, they would just say grapes.
I would say
I
grapes.
can still eat my handful of grapes, and I wash them pretty good.
But you never know. Somebody could grab a couple of blueberries out of a little pack to sample some and then go put their hands on the grapes to sample some of those.
Dude, I do not see anybody messing with other berries. I see them doing grapes and walking around, and they have 3 pounds of grapes but by the time they get to the register, it's like a half a pound. They've eaten them, all the grapes before they get there, so that they cost less. That ain't right.
No, that ain't right. And obviously the hallmark symptom of this disease or parasite is watery, sometimes explosive diarrhea. Y'all are enjoying the meals that you're eating right now. Other symptoms can include nausea, bloating, and excessive gas. I guess the good news, if there is good news, this condition or illness is not typically associated with vomiting or fever. So it's all coming out one end. Sometimes you get a stomach bug or illness, and it's like,
oh yeah,
on the pot, and you got a trash can in front of you, and you don't know what's happening next. But I don't know, man. It's beach season. It's the summertime. Trying to shed a few lbs. This might not be the worst thing in the world, right?
No, dude, you don't want to get that. That's a explosive. When they use the word explosive diarrhea, that could happen to you at any time. That's one of those ones where I don't have a chance to go and sit in the back of your trunk and let loose. That's one that hits you like on the second step.
Well,
or going down the steps right here. Just no, you don't want explosive. You don't want the word explosive and diarrhea to go in the same deal.
No, you really don't.
No.
But again, good way to lose weight this time of year. It'll clean you out real nice. And the problem is like some of the food that I eat, some of the fast food that I consume, sometimes that goes through my system pretty quickly. Yeah, and I've got some explosive diarrhea.
You've had it before anybody ever got it.
That's the thing. Like I'm never gonna know if I actually have the parasite or not, because that's just what I do with what I eat.
No, I'm very careful about washing stuff because once again, I go to the farmer's market every Saturday. So I don't know how the farmers pass that around. These are local farms and stuff that I get my carrots and stuff like that from. Mm-hmm. I go there and I kind of scrub them down. Yeah. I'm the worst because I'm less with the grapes. The same thing I'm talking about people picking up grapes in the store. I just take grapes and I just wash them. I wash them with water. I don't do anything else.
What are you supposed to do? Like put them in the dishwasher? That's all you're supposed to do.
Kind of scrub them a little bit. Like,
that's a weird fetish that people have or something.
Oh, they just want to touch little round things.
Yeah. Yeah, they think they're something else.
I guess.
You don't need to be that handsy with your grapes. That's weird. Look, if I now have an excuse to stop eating salad, not so bad. A lot of lettuce, salad kits, those kinds of things, salad greens. Oh, no, I can't have a salad. I got to get the cheeseburger instead. Oh, no.
There you go. Yeah, I'm kind of good with that. And my figs are almost ready to go. Love those figs.
Well, I don't know if you should be eating stuff out of your own garden right now.
Why? I'm not touching my rectal areas and then going and handling fruit on the tree that's still growing. No, I'm good. Nobody's coming in my yard. The goats aren't coming on and rubbing their backsides on my figs.
I was going to say, you talk about goat crap a lot. So now your food might not have that parasite, but it's going to have goat shit on it.
I got to worry about that. Yeah, especially with the rain going through my fence now. Look out.
You don't need that. So there you go. Be careful out there. A list, I just X'd out the list of actual foods that were linked to. I know we mentioned the categories, but let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, have your burgers until further notice without the lettuce. You don't do that. You don't waste that lettuce anyway.
Yeah, don't need it. Bagged or processed salad greens.
Yes.
Basil, cilantro, parsley, raspberries, blackberries, snow peas, and sugar snap peas.
All the stuff that you ain't worried about.
Yeah, it's ass. I'm good on that. Literal. All right. Why today's not so bad? It is July 15th. It's National Hot Dog Day, Buck.
No, I'm not going to do it. Only at the ballpark. No, and even on the national this day, no, not going to do it. Although I've got to eat some solids here because this is going to be my last day for a couple days after my mouth surgery. I'm going to be putting things in the blender, and I'm not putting hot dogs.
Oh, you got to go with that after your surgery?
Yeah, for probably 2 days till it heals up a little bit. I'm doing blender stuff, and I got a big protein shake waiting for me right now. So I'm trying to figure out what else. You know what I don't eat a lot of, BK, is avocado, and I probably should put that in the blender. That's probably good for me.
Yeah, that's a superfood, as they say.
That's one of the ones that I asked my wife to add to my bananas and blueberries and protein shake. So I'm going to be 2 days of that, 2 days of juice land. Speaking of diarrhea, speaking of getting, milk, because I have milk in mine with bananas in it too.
It'll be liquid going in and liquid going out, huh?
Oh, jeez.
That's what your future holds.
Well, for the next couple of days, I just got to get this done, brother.
Yeah, National Gummy Worm Day. Probably can't have any of those after this procedure.
That's probably one of the reasons why I have to have this procedure is, like I told you, milk duds and sugar daddies and gummy worms.
Too many of those. Too many sweets.
Yeah, as the surgeon said, hey, baby boomer mouth.
Ugh, what does that mean?
That means that when I went to the theater, first thing I ordered was buttered popcorn and the largest pack of milk duds that I could get.
Milk duds are nasty. Why do you olds like milk duds?
I love milk duds.
That's only an old thing. It's nasty.
Well, you've never encountered sugar babies or sugar daddies, did you?
I know what they are, but they're not for me.
That's you don't want your teeth falling out or being pulled out, right?
Yeah, and I just don't think they taste good, but I also don't want that either. So, on this day in 1988, Die Hard premieres in theaters.
There you go.
On this day in 2012, Gangnam Style goes viral. Remember that song and dance?
Oh yeah,
that was classic. On this day in 1973, Nolan Ryan's second no-hitter, and a couple of quick birthdays. Linda Ronstadt.
Is Linda Ronstadt 82?
80 on the nose.
Okay.
And Damian Lillard celebrating a birthday today. Tobias Harris, new San Antonio Spurs, celebrating a birthday today. Born on this day, now dead.
Who?
Nobody I care about enough. All right, so I guess we're done.
You seen it? Are there any pictures of Linda Ronstadt? Is she still a good-looking older lady at 80?
I can pull up a quick picture of Linda Ronstadt.
I need to see what she looks like at 80.
So we're talking like Linda Ronstadt current. Okay. I don't know how current this is, but I would guess this is close to 80, if not 80.
Doesn't even look much like her. Wow.
That's how women age sometimes, Bub.
I know, I got it, but that I would have never done. I mean, you could have named off a million people, BK. I would have never got to Linda Ronstadt on that.
Well, here is, I guess, prime Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, that's prime Linda Ronstadt. Big furry, lots of hair, big furry 70s coat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she definitely had a fastball.
Man.
And it's no longer with us, I don't think. That's all right. She's 80.
You're throwing the slow curve now, is she?
Some guys and gals lose their fastball in their 30s, so she made it this long. She's doing all right. Well, that will do it for a Wednesday show. Good luck to you.
Thank you, man. For you folks out there, I will see you you'll hear from me on Monday. And if you have a little chance, say a prayer for me. Your prayers have done great when I've had to have these little things. This isn't a little thing. This is some yankage coming out of here. So
it's a mouth surgery.
Yes.
It's, nothing life-threatening, but it is pretty serious and dramatic sounding. So my prayers to you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Evan Veith will co-host with me tomorrow, and Double R, Rodney Rodriguez, will co-pilot on Friday. So the show will go on. The Buck will be back on Monday. Good luck.
Anything I can put in a blender, please let BK know what else I can add to the blender.
Yes. Hey, you could put D's in a blender. That guy who cut his off and lit it on fire, you can put that in a blender too. If
Oh, that was horrifying.
nasty.
All right, y'all.
Thanks to Chip. Thanks to you people for joining us today, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Welcome.
Hook up.